What's up, y'all? I do not have a, I'll just time myself, I guess, because I don't see it. Hello, my name is Luna Stower. Raise your hand if you can understand me if I speak in English. Y ponga tu, basically everyone, we're okay in English, right? Okay. If you need me to slow down or explain something, dame tu mano y yo puedo traducirme mí mismo, pero en el resto de tiempo yo voy a hablar en inglés. Love is lucrative. All right, we talk about this a lot. I'm from California. Have you ever been to California? Put a west side in the air, west side till I die. We created the culture that you guys love so much here in Barcelona. It's very, very, very special. And the thing that I notice the most is the love. You guys can't smoke in your houses and in your apartments. You guys have very, very, very small limitations guiding how you can consume, purchase, share this plant, what you can wear, how you can act, how you can travel, how you can drive. In 1996, I was in 6th grade. I started smoking, growing, and selling cannabis. I'm 41 this year, so I was 11 years old when I first started being in the industry. I was part of the Students for Sensible Drug Policy and Normal when I was in college at UC Santa Cruz, which is well known for being a hippie school. I'm a trained feminist. I have a master's in teaching. I've traveled the world. I've been to 41 countries. And I was a public school teacher. I taught in prisons and jails and juvenile halls for over 10 years. I still have an active, I don't know how they haven't taken it from me at this point, California teaching credential. I could go back and teach anything kindergarten through upper college level because of the master's. So I've taught in schools, and a lot of the things that, I'm a Cancer, I'm a woman, I believe, Cancer is my astrology. I believe in love. I believe in cariño. That's something that I did when I did my work with newcomers coming into the schools of California with no experience in the United States and just honoring their home languages and where they come from. And we need to do that with this plant as it's getting corporatized. I just left 5 years with iSpire. They're the largest vape technology company in the world, more or less. They manufacture millions of square feet of apparatuses for vaporizing. They're empty. We were able to IPO on the NASDAQ. We were a public company, and they just laid off their whole team. So this is very timely because I built a company from scratch. This is the second time that I've been employee number 1 at a company that's been listed on stock exchange, where I was in the first set of layoffs the second that there was a problem. And why is that? First of all, I was just really good at sales and marketing and worked my way out of a job. But secondly, it's because capitalism doesn't care about us. Greed capitalism does not care about us. The power of purpose-driven leadership, doing well by doing good, is not just possible, it is the future. If you are not embedding cause into everything that you are not doing anything in this space. There's enough people extracting who are looking for an exit and not looking to build or to do anything with it. That is not what we talk about when we're talking about profitability and sustainability. They are not mutually exclusive, right? We can have stakeholder, shareholder, and planet aligning to all benefit in a win-win-win. We're talking a lot now about how ethics are driving consumer practices. In the United States, diversity, equity, and inclusion is not only under attack, but has been systematically disassembled. Anything that looked like any kind of reparations, which is still owed to our African Americans 400 years after slavery, they didn't get their 40 hectares and a mule. They didn't, there's no closure around systemic racism. And even though they're 20% of our population, they're 75 to 85% of our prison population. So we believe that women do not still have rights in the United States. We lost our right to abortion. We lost our rights to, there's a lot of things that women are facing right now that involve bodily autonomy, and DEI, CSR, and ESG are all tying into this thing about what do we have the right to do with our bodies. Like Nati was saying, this is so perfect that I came right after you. Can we get another round of applause for her, please? It's simple. It's like we all know it, but like we need to see it. Right? And like this is a professional conference, and we saw lawmakers up here, and we're gonna see medicos up here, and people, coming from all different lights, but especially Polita does a lot of this work too. What's the anthropological language that we're using to decolonize this space? It's gonna be a lifesaver. Someone's gonna call you out, someone's gonna say you're full of it. We're in cannabis. We like to police each other and make sure that everyone's real. Are you OG enough? Are you down enough? If you're not doing this, you're not gonna have protection when shit hits the fan. So these greedy short-term profit-first strategies are harming consumer fidelity and employee morale. They are not creating sustainable value. We're finding now that people who who are like us, who purchase things based on values, they will support someone who has a values-based proposition 175% more of the time compared to 70% of people that will buy. So it's very motivating for purchasers. And inclusive teams. If you have folks of color, indigenous people, queer folks on your teams, they're making, these are all Harvard Business Review studies, by the way. The footnotes didn't make it. They are making better business decisions almost all of the time, 2 times faster with half the meetings. There is more unique ideas to pull things through. And when you're marketing your brand to people who are smoking your brand, they don't look like most of these corporate boardrooms, which are really high earning, very high income, male, white, and straight, traditionally in my experience. And companies with clearly defined purposes are successfully entering new markets at a 50% higher rate. And what do we want to do in cannabis? Why are we all out here hanging out in Spain? Entering new markets. 30% increased revenue too. That's a big, big push. This is what investors are now looking at these days. If you guys know Patagonia, they're one of the B Corp structure in the United States, which basically means that you cannot harm the environment and make money. Like you got to pay all your people bills, your planet bills, and your bill bills. This "Don't Buy Your Jacket" campaign, "Don't Buy This Jacket" campaign was to raise money for conservationists, and it increased their sales 30%. One year during Black Friday, which is this like feverish, hyper-consumeristic day before Thanksgiving, where everything goes on sale and people literally kill each other, they shut down their whole website and wouldn't sell anything. And the next year they sold stuff and donated 100% to preserving the national parks, which are now being sold off by our president. I'm not even gonna say his name here. Investors are caring. 70% of them say, yeah, we want to invest when we see women. Like, we know women know how to spend money. You know, like there's a lot, we have women sitting right here that are like bringing in unbelievable amounts of angel investors because they know that we can multitask, we invest, and we're not looking to just make our money and bounce. And no offense, there's a lot of, it's not about women versus men, but we need a piece and a shot. We get to shoot our shot now. And they get 5% more in returns. That's another thing, that people who are learning that they're investing in those kinds of teams are like, we're making more money with them, actually. This is more in the context of some of the brands that you've seen in California, queer-owned brands, people that talk about their previous incarceration, Farmer and the Felon, Johnny Casale, and Rose Moberly. I don't know if they're here. They're homies. Shout out Emerald Triangle. They are well known for their strain White Thorn Rose. Johnny Casale was locked up for like 18 years, Heidi, something like that. For a nonviolent first-time cannabis offense. Be genuine with your narrative. If you guys are coming to market, don't just be here for the money or because you read some kind of a report. Have a real why. It helped you in some way, or else you really shouldn't be in the space, or you need to check a different route. And then there's just a couple of stats up here that really are showing that people are going to boycott you if they don't like what you do. Like I'm a huge fan of boycotting. I came up in California. We were the International Workers Movement. We're the Black Panther movement. We're very pro-labor, very Marxist-informed space. Berkeley, California, we're the free speech movement. So like I come from, with you vote with your dollar. And as capitalism is taking over all of our systems, we really need to take that seriously. I've got a minute left. These are a couple of examples of things that we've done in LA. We give away backpacks to our housing insecure neighbors que no tienen hogares. And we fix up our beaches and help clean up our beaches with other cannabis companies that you might recognize some of the brands up there. These are just a little bit more information about why we want, as companies, as we grow, to have these kinds of satisfaction, is people will stay at your company longer. They will go hard for you. They will work that extra hour for you. They are willing to take less money to work for companies that care. Like these are business review statistics. This is not crunchy, hire a woman because it makes you feel good. Like, we need more folks of color. We need more indigenous voices, especially as psilocybin and these other psychoactives are coming in and copying the blueprint of cannabis. We need to be really careful about who's not in the room, who is in the room. We're in the Americas. There's a lot of colonization. We're in Spain. We're in the heart of a post-colonial moment. We need to make sure that the people who've traditionally been stewarding this plant for all of these thousands of years get a shot at it, the same way that we're fighting for our endocannabinoid system's rights. And also that last part, I don't know about y'all, but we live on Instagram, and someone posts something and they got a lot of followers, you got problems. So if you have this stuff intact, you got a good team, a smart team that comes from different parts of the world, that has different class levels, that aren't just all a bunch of, day traders and people in suits. Like, you are going to have people have your back. And it's really easy to lose your reputation in cannabis over one bad post on LinkedIn. This is a cool example. Raise your hand if you know about the Dove, like when the women, bigger bodied women were like starting to be shown in the early 2000s. It changed, Unilever, Dove and Hellman's was the piece that did it. It grew 70% faster than the rest of the business and was responsible for almost all of their growth just because they had not tiny, skinny women. They had big-bodied, normal-bodied women. All right, I hear you. So how do you include this in your life? Make sure that as you're hiring, you are looking for these things. It's obviously merit-based. We don't just want to be hired because we need a woman on your team. Don't ever say that. Don't be like, we want more diversity. We'd love to have you. No, we get to come for our minds and our hearts and our experiences, and because our power is there. And genuinely engaging with your staff and your clients. Are the women on your team actually getting equity in your company? Are you paying them as much as the men, or are you paying them the 60% that women typically around the world get paid to the dollar of men? Are you checking in with your clients and your suppliers? Are you checking in with the women and the men in your life? Are you feeling safe? Do you feel like you can bring your partners to parties? Do you like to hang out late nights with your colleagues? Like making sure that your workplaces are safe for disabled people, for that your practices of hiring and working with people are trauma informed and are aware that people are coming with major mental and physical health issues. We are going to do this differently than corporate America and international pharma. We are going to care about each other because that's what this plant has taught us. We need to make sure that it's exploitation free. You're not just buying shit from China. God knows what the conditions are that these people are working in. Check your sources. Do not support things that are not coming from something that is really giving back. And without these ethical supply chains that are regularly audited, you're going to get sued and go out of business and regret you ever touched this plant. I do believe that we can put people before profit and reputation before revenue, and we are proving that love can be lucrative because I see a lot of radical motherfuckers in this room that are not typically in academia. This is our time and our place to leave our mark because we've lost everything we love in Northern California. We lost our chance. Y'all have one. So that's why we come out here, is because the breeders, raise your hand if you grow or you breed. Anyone breeders? Any breeders in here? Growers, breeders? Like, if you see these people, like, thank these people, hug these people, love these people. They're holding the seeds. That's everything. You can't grow everything on yeast, right? You can't grow everything on algae. Some things need air and water and earth. So one more thing I do want to say, I want to shout out my friends, Heidi and Jason here. They were handing this out today, and I thought it was so perfect to end with this quote. Cultivation is an art, a labor of love, where the grower brings forth the best of nature. This is a great example of just like having, just even in your marketing, just soft, honest representations of who you are and what you're bringing. We get it. You're good at what you do. You're the best. You got investors. You're fucking fun to hang out with. You're charming. You're smart. We get it. But do you have a heart? That's it.